Welcome to EVE Online. I'm Major Freak. I just thought I'd show you a bit of overview for mining. I've done a bit for freighter work and why I like the transit tab with just war targets and dueling. Now I'll show you about my mining tab. I like it. This is actually screwed up. I'm going to have to fix it for you guys and I'll show you how I do that. I've got the columns all, I can't see everything, and so what I'll do is I've shown it in the other video. So what I've been doing is narrowing this window by deleting some columns I never really use, the angular velocity and stuff like that. But this is why I have these descriptors below, and I'll show it to you guys again. I'm sure you've seen it in the last video about it, if you're interested in this kind of stuff. So I've put in breaks to make a second line, so I can put in these vertical lines to show where I want where it's optimal, actually. So drag that over here, like so. And I leave a space here for the active links, because sometimes you can get a bunch and it kind of clouds out other stuff. I'm sure you could get away with not, just, there you go. There. I tend to not use any of this. Maybe I should just tell people to do this instead of just deleting all this stuff, because it's a good framework if you want to pull it out and see everything. It's handy. Maybe I should start rethinking. Let's say, do I need tags over alliances? Do I need angular? Can I put angular at the very end? Stuff like that. Also, the reason I have the columns the way I do is mainly for putting in the width and stuff. Do I put type in front of, because most people have name then type. It tends to throw people off. I don't know whether I want to do it or not. It's just personal preference, really. This is the way I've customized it. The reason I do that now on to the actual tab for mining. I move this stuff first. I use it because when you're in mining and you're mining away, the last thing you want to do is have all your drones visible. You're like, and you want to click on the fleet hangar, and you're drones are flinging everywhere, and you're like, I can't find it, or you would just want a quick and easy one. So there you go, right there. That's why I only have orcas and fritters. I'll open the types up for you so you can see what types I've got. So I've got most of the ships, but I've gotten rid of exhumers, industrials, and mining barges. And I got rid of them because when you're in a crowded field with lots of miners on field and a fleet going, there's haulers zipping around and other miners, and all you really want is your orca with the fleet hanging you want, and there you go. You'll see other orcas, but that's fine. And of course, when you bring up direct scan, you'll see everything but the exhumers and the haulers and the mining barges. Which, before you kind of worry about somebody having a cyno and sneaking in, you wouldn't be able to see on D-scan and who got you. But nowadays you can't put a cyno on anything anymore, really, except the specific ships. So yeah, I think it's perfectly safe to do that. Somebody might jump a Rorqual battle fleet on you if you're not, you know, it's possible. But I tend not to think it's even worth talking about in high sec. But you know, in low sec, you know, might have to do some worrying about it. Alright, so I'm also not using tags. And I'll show you the tags in a sec because this is the mining tab I'm talking about. That's why I have the tag column. But right now I'm just using my ore scanners on my ships. I didn't used to like them, but they're pretty handy if you've got a field with varying volume quantities. When I first came into this field and this spot specifically, well, this field entirely, I was like, right, um, I went for all my guys would just go on one each on the two. There were a couple closer ones of 13, almost 14 K quantity, and I'm mining those out. And as they lower, they go lower and lower. I just switch over to one of these and then one of the bigger ones, and I just slowly switch over. This one's mining this one, and that one's mining. Oh wait, let's do this properly here. That should come up. Okay, so that's that, and let's see, that one's there. Yeah, so it's basically just, okay, I'm going to put these two, and I'll split these up now. You don't really need tags. The tags are great if most of the, like if most of them are not really big asteroids and they're pretty much the same size. That's when you want tags. So you can go, okay, well, I need to figure out which of my miners are going to split up their lasers. So as you can see, the lasers are pretty much kind of spread out. The ideal situation is to use tags and have, you got 4 miners, have them in total mining 8 asteroids. It's the optimal way of doing things. And by the way, did I say I love using macks? No, and that's the thing, you gotta drag it here and then get the pop up and then drag the rest. There we go. That's done. Yeah, I mean, I've got my mining up. I can bring up my, oops, sorry, don't like that. I've got my D-scanners in this corner, all of them now. Showed that in a recent UI iterations thing about how I really like the directional scanner up in all my guys. So when I'm doing my mining, see something new, any character, I can just hit D-scan. And this will show most ships, like I said, it won't show the industrials. It's just a note. But I think I'm safe enough to ignore industrials because hardly anybody uses an industrial to sneak in Sino. Might happen, but most of the time it's just somebody solo going in with a prospect or stuff like that. And you definitely want to not take expedition frigates off your overview. Because those suckers can still Sino in Black Ops, and low sec's famous for that, especially around here. Of course, I don't need mining tab for my hauler. I don't need it for my I usually like to keep it on combat scan. Oh, mining drones are done. Bring up the mining tab again. And this is when I probably need the tags, and I'll show you guys how I do tags. It's pretty simple. I mean, if you've done it before, you've got to be a squad leader at least. And then you go in and it's a bit tedious. There's no shortcut to it. It's really annoying. Sometimes it lags out, and you gotta, yeah, it's not the best system for tagging, especially if you're trying to do the setting up quick. You're losing a bit of time, but it's trust me, it's absolutely worth it. So here's where I recently had it squashed, and then I put back my addition, and it loaded up, and I haven't corrected the angles yet, so bring it out. There we go. There. Alright, and type name angular. Really, I should switch that. Tag, no, I like the G showing. There. And lights. Alright. Okay. So 4, so when I tag that 4, like I said, I'm not good with math. Alright. 30, tag 5. And the nice thing about tags these days, didn't used to be, the nice thing about tags is they actually show up A on the roids, and even more cool on the, oh, just go to here, on here, right here. This is really cool. And you click a roid, yeah, woohoo. I think those were in the past, but you didn't get this. The numbers here, I don't think so. It wasn't this cool before, I know that. Something, they definitely did improve the tag system a little bit. Wish it was easier to tag things initially, but hey, I'm not complaining at all. It makes my life a lot easier. And I'm not really worried about my mining drones. They're like, yeah, half a laser. So what I do, the nice thing, this is the nice thing about tags. So I go, okay, so 1 and 3, 2 and 3, 3 and 2, 3 and 5. So I believe those are the bigger rocks, and some of the smaller ones are all got it spread out. Get to laugh at my lack of math knowledge because I've already forgotten which numbers I've called out. So I am going to get the person who's on 2 off 2. So I need to move 2 off, and I'll move those to this one right here. So 2 is going to go here. Oops. Now they're both synced. Should be okay with a Mac. I'm not too worried. I shouldn't be worried at all about staggering my lasers in a Mac, really. But it's a good habit I've gotten into, and don't want to get complacent. So 2, and I'll target this one, and lap, and I'll send the mining drones on to 2. And I've got drone navs, so they're really quick. 23 kilometers. They have like a 6 kilometer optimum range, so they really only have to travel about 12 kilometers. And mine. Now I've got 1 drone out for each, a combat drone out for each of my miners, and they're just guarding Seneshaves doing the logi thing. That'll get her attacked automatically. The drones will just take them apart, doing that, of course, for the skilling spree. Yeah, and that's why I like tags. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of which roid am I mining, which roid is which. Because, you know, in the end of the day, it's you're not eyeballing roids. It would be fun. It would be a lot more immersive. Um, but the camera controls and the zooming and the whole shebang isn't that conducive to eyeballing things. This game isn't built on eyeballing as much as the spreadsheets, unfortunately. A game like, say, Elite Dangerous, which I haven't tried yet, you could probably eyeball things, which would add to the immersion, but it's a one-person game. One player. It's not like you're playing multiple ships in there. I don't think it's that kind of game. I haven't tried it yet. I want to try it. It's in my library. I just like mining in Eve. It's fun. It's relaxing. It's enjoyable. Alright. That is tags. I don't think there's anything else I need to go into. I think one of my guys, yes, the truncated. See, I've gotten rid of as you can see, I've gotten rid of the transversal, the alliance, all that stuff, and just put it like that so I could truncate it. But now I'm thinking, I don't really need to do anything fancy. I could just put everything I don't want on the far. Don't fence anymore because I've already used them. So I think I'll set up my next iteration to do that. And how you do that is pretty simple. I probably don't need to explain the nuts and bolts to everybody, but this is how you. Okay, so let's put angular at the very bottom because I don't really need it. You know, it's something you use for. I have never used for combat actually. I know it's good if you're trying to get tracking, but it's never got to that level of complexity yet for my PvP play. Tag, alliance to it, I don't really have velocities, tags, name, type, distance. Yep. Pretty simple. And then I'll just drag it that way. Yay. Leave the tags. Don't need the velocity though. Do I really need velocity? Yeah, velocity, alliance, angular. Yeah, that makes sense. At least the angular is separated from the velocity by the alliance, so it's not too mushed and confusing with the numbers. There you go. And for mining, I can just shove it all the way that way. Perfecto. Awesome. Ooh, hello. Of course, I'll bring these up because it'll be fun to watch. Where are you, little buggers? There you are. See? Because I'm the logi. They already go for it. And my drones all go wee. Always fun. Always fun to see your little drones actually do their jobs without actually having to micromanage, you know, who's having to be guarded and stuff like that. It's really fun. It's like, oh my god, and actually make the game work for you in ways you hoped it worked for you. You can depend on who's going to be the target, so you can guard that person. And have them consistently attacked, and have the guarding drones go out and do their jobs. It's pretty awesome. Alright, yeah. Keep that there. And yeah, I like, I don't probably really need to have this on overview in the mining, because then it's even more simple. If you remove further from overview. There you go, save. The other thing about when you've got color coding, it'll give you this. If you go OK, it'll give you that. So it's a bit of a problem. There's no way to fix it other than going outside into, you'll have to export the file and then change the HTML coding yourself, and then save it, and then import it, and then it's all fixed. And I'll go back to normal. And the last thing I want to do is drone on about HTML coding, because I probably hate it as much as you guys. So that's it for today. Don't have anything else I could probably talk about this mining tab. It's so useful for me. I want to talk more about it. But yeah, oh, by the way, don't be careful about, removing, oh, I don't need this, and I don't like this, and sometimes glistening the jackpot is okay, but it's like, all right, this is great. Then you might actually, not thinking about it, save it, and then export it, and then from then on, okay, which version of this export do you have that you screwed up, and you actually want to see those roids. So I'd counsel against it. If you really want to do this sort of thing, filtering, use the ore scanner. Get an ore scanner. It's great for filtering. That's why the other reason I like the ore scanner. It keeps down the urge to start screwing with your overview when you don't really need to, if you've got another tool. It's a lazy habit that can be frustrating later when you're like, oh god, when did I screw up my overview, and when did I export it, and how can I fix it, what have I done wrong, stuff like that. It's a real issue with overview. If you're trying to customize it, and you do a lot of exporting and tweaking and stuff like that, and you screw something, yeah, HTML for you. Yay. Okay, thanks.